Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10 o'clock. I'm Amanda Mueller. The White House has not officially blamed anyone for the drone attacks, but the Secretary of State has called out Iran. Late today, a senior administration official said in addition to those drone strikes, there were nearly 12 cruise missile strikes. Iranian officials denied responsibility, and the incident could heighten growing tensions between the U.S. and Iran. Tonight, the president tweeted he's, quote, authorized the release of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve if needed. Here's Stephanie Ramos with those details.
Drone attacks sparking major fires at one of the world's largest oil processing facilities in Saudi Arabia. The billowing smoke seen in these satellite images. Houthi rebels in Yemen claiming responsibility for the attack, saying they were able to exploit vulnerabilities in Saudi Arabia's air defense system.
These are $10,000, $20,000 drones that are defeating air defense systems that cost hundreds of millions of dollars.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo directly blaming Iran, tweeting, Tehran is behind nearly 100 attacks on Saudi Arabia. Amid all the calls for de-escalation, Iran has now launched an unprecedented attack on the world's energy supply. This could heighten tensions between the U.S. and Iran. White House counselor Kellyanne Conway was asked if the U.S. would strike Iranian oil fields in retaliation.
This president and his national security team and Secretary Pompeo, our nation's chief diplomat, keep many options on the table.
Saudi Arabia's state-owned oil giant Aramco says these attacks have resulted in production suspension of 5.7 million barrels of crude oil per day.
When you talk about the global production, that's almost more than 5% of the global oil production.
The U.S. Energy Department says it stands ready to deploy resources from the Strategic Petroleum Oil Reserves if necessary. But Americans could soon be feeling the pinch at the pump if the Saudis cannot get production back online quickly. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News.
Oil prices, which have remained low for months, could spike when markets open tomorrow as Saudi Arabia works to repair the damage after that drone attack. So what does that mean for us here at home? Experts say the price of gas could go up in upcoming weeks as a result of short-term disruption. Here is a look at gas prices on the Strip in Henderson, where unleaded is sitting at $2.15 a gallon. Oil prices could rise because of worries about more unrest hurting supply. We asked local people at the pump tonight about their thoughts on rising costs.
When it goes up 20, 30 cents. When it comes down a penny or two. So how is that oil price jumping that much and then coming down that lease? They're still overseas. We don't depend on Saudi Arabia. And if they're trying to say the price going up because of that, that's bull.
The world's richest countries have oil reserves of more than 2 billion barrels, but experts say releasing those to alleviate supply concerns could potentially backfire and result in higher prices on the market as traders worry there is a problem with tight supply. An update tonight on an exclusive story that we brought you last night out of Daviess County, Kentucky. We now know the concert promoter responsible for David Allan Coe's canceled tour stop there is behind bars tonight after police arrested him last night for multiple vehicle charges. According to the Daviess County Detention Center, 52-year-old Jason Giardina of Indianapolis was charged with no brake lights and no registration plates, among other driving charges. The website says he is being held on a $25,000 bond. Giardina is promoter for the Saturday show that David Allan Coe was scheduled to perform at. According to band members we spoke to, the band was escorted off the property and told they are not allowed to play by Giardina. The reason was publicly given for David Allan Coe not performing.
That's not the way we do business. If you're going to cancel a show, it has to be 30 days prior to the show. And I was there to do the show. My band was there. They escorted my band off of the property. And my wife and I was ready to go on. And they said, don't come over here. They're going to arrest you if you come over here.
Giardina declined an on-camera interview with us last night, but did say he would release a statement tomorrow regarding the cancellation. The Daviess County Lions Fairgrounds said on Facebook that they had nothing to do with ticket sales and they are disappointed with the cancellation. They also said for ticket refunds, people need to contact the concert promoter. Well, the Owensboro Air Show 2019 is now in the history books. Today was day 3 and the final day of this year's event. Military bombers, stunt planes, parachuters soared through the sky as people lined up along the riverfront. Eyewitness News' Grace Haba met with organizers to find out how the people on the ground talk with people in the sky.
Thousands of people lined up along the Ohio River to watch dozens of planes take to the skies for Day 3 of the 2019 Owensboro Air Show.
We're really excited. Over the last 5 years, we've been able to host the Air Force Thunderbirds, the Canadian Snowbirds, the Navy Blue Angels last year.
Military bombers from World War II flew below the tree lines.
Make some noise, everybody!
While parachuters soared high above the crowds.
I'm doing 23 shows this year. Over the last 13 years, close to 275 different air show venues around the world, including Japan. And here in Owensboro, there is something about the hospitality and the air of friendliness, and it's really tough to get a prettier view than what we've had this weekend on the Ohio River.
With so many moving parts in the air, the mechanics on the ground need to be completely in sync.
It's not something that we plan on the short term. It's really year-round. 12 months out of the year, we're talking to different folks. We've got upwards of 16 agencies between the Indiana side and then the Kentucky side of the river, and those meetings take place over months and months and months, coordinated effort.
The crowds even got to hear what the bird's eye view was like from the pilots themselves.
Can you hear that? I can hear them, and while I'm talking, I know what the music's playing, and I know when they ask for the music, when to start it, and I can talk to them offline when necessary. So it's a lot of fun.
But the overall crowd favorite, the roaring F-16 Fighting Falcon, a supersonic multi-role fighter aircraft. People also got a taste of history with an appearance from the oldest flying DC-3 passenger aircraft in the world. The plane is credited with revolutionizing air travel after first taking to the skies in the 1930s. Grace Haba, Eyewitness News.